in Mandera, in Turkana, in Wajir. And we are likely to see livestock dying in that corner of our country. National Youth Service, as one of the senators has said, it has fast land which we can grow livestock fodder. And we sell this livestock fodder in the markets. And we make money which we can utilize to train more and more young people. So I wanted to clarify that before going to the questions, Mr. Speaker. The first question from Senator Karen Nyamo on the marginalization. Mr. Speaker, Article 10 of our Constitution, which talks about the national values and principles of governance, it is very clear that the protection of marginalized communities in the Republic of Kenya we have to ensure, the government has to ensure it follows the letter and the intent of Article 10 of our Constitution, which is protection of marginalized communities. And the marginalized communities are not only found in rural areas. I had an opportunity as a minister in charge of special program to take relief in Nairobi and many other urban centers, in Kipra, in Mukuru Kwanjenga, in Mathare, where there is fire outbreak. Mr. Speaker, you will find many young people, many families within Nairobi are marginalized in a serious way. And therefore, when it comes to implementation of the services which are offered, which will be offered by the new enterprise, and National Youth Service cannot take advantage of that money to enhance more training for the young people. Because we want to move, Mr. Speaker, from the 20,000 we are training at the moment, 18 to 20,000 we are training at the moment, to next year 40,000. And by the year 2027, we want to have reached 100,000 young people who will be training at National Youth Service. Mr. Speaker, we will take care, as a government, all the marginalized communities, both in urban areas and in the rural areas, because that is what our Constitution in Article 10 dictates. Number two, is National Youth Service independent body from training, as well as how do we take care of sustainability, Mr. Speaker. I have explained from opening remarks that National Youth Service will remain the body corporate the way it is at the moment, but will have a private company. I mean, a company, a limited company, which will have its own management, totally different from the management of National Youth Service as we know it. So the limited company will not be managed by the Commandant General, who is the CEO or the senior most person in National Youth Service at the moment. The limited company will be managed by a CEO who will be hired from the market in the most competitive way possible. The third question, Mr. Speaker, from the Senator of Tharaka Nithi County. Is it that Tharaka Nithi? No. I've not seen him here. Huh? Meru County, yes. Okay. Mr. Speaker, is a question on consolidation of youth activities. The concern is that we have many youth enterprises, or the government has different arms which are taking care of youth in the youth activities, the government. Yes, it is true we have youth fund, we have National Youth Service, we have all these youth activities within the government. Yes, Mr. Speaker, the government is in a process of coming up with a policy direction to ensure that all the youth activities are consolidated and synergized so that we can be able to get the maximum. We can be able to harness the potential of the Kenyan youth in the best possible way, instead of having many fragmented effort from one direction to the other. But at the moment, Mr. Speaker, it's also important for me to mention that so far government is doing all what it can to align these activities to achieve different needs of young people, because young people of the Republic of Kenya have many different needs which are not homogeneous. For instance, we have young people who have not managed to transition to high school. Kenyan government is taking care of the young people who have not been able to transition to high school through different programs, through vocation training in our constituencies, in our ward, as well as through other youth initiatives like Kazi Mutaani, to ensure that they have meaningful activities and employment which they are doing in our communities. And also, Mr. Speaker, there is many young people who are going to work outside the country, and the Ministry of Youth, in partnership with the Ministry of Labor, they are working very well together through the Youth Fund to ensure that the tickets are paid, the facilitation is done for them to be able to work in other countries outside there. Mr. Speaker, the question from Senator the question is how much we use, how much the ministry uses to train young people in National Youth Service per year. It's quite a huge budget, Mr. Speaker. It's around 10 billion per year. And through this initiative of National Youth Service Enterprise Limited, we'll be able to raise 4 billion Kenya shilling every year once the commercialization is done. And this will cut the budget from Exchequer with almost 4 billion Kenya shilling every year. That is a huge leap if we are going to implement this in the most appropriate way. And Mr. Speaker, I'm committed as a minister to ensure it's going to be implemented with military precision so that we can take advantage of the market when these services are offered to the market. Mr. Speaker, if you remember, in the last administration, the Nairobi Metro NMS, many young people, many young trained youth from National Youth Service were employed by NMS, they offer services, and National Youth Service have not been paid huge amount of money from NMS up to now, but it's something which are making follow-up with the necessary, with the Treasury to ensure that National Youth Service get that money. So it's something that the previous administration tried to do, but it was not properly structured as we want to structure it at the moment through a remittent company. Also, to give an example, Mr. Speaker, for us to be able to understand where, is that Nairobi, the University of Nairobi, it has a limited company, which is known as UNES, which offers consultant services, and which, once it's paid, is able to further the interest of the university. It is the same thing, that this limited company will do commercial services, get paid, and the money is utilized to further the interest and the mandate of the National Youth Service, which is an extremely critical mandate for our republic. Mr. Speaker, the fifth question from Senator Veronica. The question was, what are the opportunities do we have at the moment for the young people, that the young Kenyan, the youth will ask me as a minister, what are the opportunities for the young people? Mr. Speaker, at the moment, the government of Kenya, through the leadership of His Excellency the President, has ensured we have a number of programs which we are implementing as a government. One of them is affordable housing, where many young people have already been actively employed in that program, close to 400,000 young people, and the number is increasing every day. Mr. Speaker, and this also will see if we are able to negotiate with the Ministry of Housing, once this company is registered, that we can take 30% of ground mobilization, or the groundwork for these affordable programs. Then we'll be able to get more young people getting actively employed through National Youth Service Enterprise Limited, and money, and that money can be used properly to further the interests of National Youth Service. Mr. Speaker, the second also is National Youth Service will be, it has been involved in construction of roads, construction of buildings. For instance, at the moment, National Youth Service is the one which is constructing Huduma Center at Runyenjes town. That is work which has been given to National Youth Service by the Ministry of Public Service, or by Huduma Kenya, because Huduma Kenya also, Mr. Speaker, is under the Ministry of Public Service. But it will be more meaningful to the National Youth Service if that money, which National Youth Service is making, is going to a limited company. Money not going to the consolidated account. So the constructions of roads has been happening, the construction of building has been happening, and we'll take advantage of that as a limited company. And that is where also youth will be getting their jobs opportunities. Mr. Speaker, also as a government, for the employment opportunities through the Ministry of Labor and through the State Department for diaspora, many young people are getting opportunities outside the country, and we have over 400,000 young people at the moment who, from the time this administration came into place, over 400,000 young people have gotten jobs in different countries, without mentioning them, Mr. Speaker, through the facilitation of the Ministry of Labor as well as the State Department for Diaspora. This is an effort which is continuing, and it is known as Kazmaju, and is moving on, is progressing on very well. Mr. Speaker, there is 30% opportunities, procurement opportunities for the young people, for the youth, in all our ministries, in all our State Department, in all our parastatus. 30% of the procurement opportunities go to the youth, those who have registered their companies, those who have the necessary document, ACPOC document, and this is one of the things as a government we are continuing to ensure is happening, and we are enforcing, because young people are entrepreneurs, they are in entrepreneurship, and government is supporting them through the initiative of 30% of procurement opportunities in government, which is a huge thing, because government is the biggest business partner any entrepreneur can be able to have. Mr. Speaker, on a question on corruption in National Youth Service, the dark days of corruption of 2014, 2015, Mr. Speaker, those days are gone. From then up to now, there is no major cases of corruption in National Youth Service. And where there is slight investigation indicating that there is likelihood of corruption activities at National Youth Service, we are taking strong instruction, firm steps to ensure we are getting rid of it. And we did that in May, June this year, when the ESCC indicated that there are individuals, employees within National Youth Service who are likely to be, who are getting involved in corruption activities. The investigation are still going on. We had one past two, I think two involved in Gilgil camp. In Gilgil camp, yes. Yes. One was in Gilgil, who was the end of account department. The other one was end of procurement, and the other one was deputy commandant general in headquarters. So all these three individuals, Mr. Speaker, proceeded to compulsory leave until the investigations are finished or are completed by ESCC. And we have not had any major scandal as far as National Youth Service from those dark days of 2014, 2015, Mr. Speaker. And we are continuing to put firm measures, strong measures, to ensure we can't go back to those dark days. Mr. Speaker, the sustainability model, I think one of the senator, my brother senator from Ramu, asked about that in many years ago there was National Youth Service buses.
You know the CS cannot be out of order. Maybe what clarification are you trying to seek before he finishes his response?
Honorable Speaker, my question was very direct. Who are they and what is their designation? He has spelled out their designation. We want to know who they are. These are public officers serving the public, paid by the public. Who are they other than their designation?
Honorable CS, what the senator is asking is, I think, the names and the designations are the NYS.
Mr. Speaker,
that's the question.
Mr. Speaker, also is important to mention.
Maybe, yes, CS.
Mr. Speaker, and thank you for that question and clarification. Mr. Speaker, with your indulgence, they are not declared guilty. They are still innocent until the investigation process, prosecution process is finalized.
I think that matter is in the public domain because I remember watching news of those officers and their names were flashed everywhere. So a month or two ago. And therefore, I don't think there will be any harm. saying so and so is under investigation, is not at work now because of the investigations. Will not be doing any harm by so saying. Because actually, if you Google that, those officers will not be able to see them. Only that you want the CS to pronounce himself.
Mr. Speaker, one of them is Mr. Makoa, Deputy Commandant General, who is being investigated, and we are waiting for a report from EACC. Second one is Mr. Mbogo, who was head of procurement. The other one is Mr. Kagiri, who was head of accounts. I hope that's
sufficient enough.
That is sufficient.
That's sufficient.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there was a question on that National Youth Service was operating buses some years back. And are we going back to the same? Mr. Speaker, we are not going back to the same. National Youth Service, as we know it, will not be in business operation. It will be in training our young people with paramilitary skills, vocational training, a national service, ensuring that everyone who goes through the National Youth Service has 1 year for national service. Because it takes 3 years for you to be now fully trained and you have graduated from National Youth Service. Mr. Speaker, the National Youth Service, as we know it, will not be in business. What the entity which will be in business is the remittent company, managed by a different CEO, following the market processes, the supply and demand or market forces to earn money, to make a profit. Therefore, it's a totally different business model. It is not the model which was implemented those years of transportation or buses and other business which maybe National Service trying to do. It's a completely new way of thinking, is a complete paradigm shift from the way business was being conducted in those previous years. Mr. Speaker, the 9th question is the proposal to commercialize what is provided in the company and what is provided in the NYS Act. Mr. Speaker, as I've said again and again, that the NYS is established by an act of parliament. By an act of parliament, the company which we are registering is not established by an act of parliament. Is a completely different entity, but owned by National Youth Service. And therefore, it is a complete paradigm shift from the way things were done in the past, so that we can take advantage of the skills which the young people are getting from the years training at National Youth Service. We commercialize those skills, we get more money for our National Youth Service, and then we make the National Youth Service much stronger, and it can be able to achieve its mandate as it is stipulated in the act that it establishes the National Youth Service. Mr. Speaker, the second last question was about the RAND, the fast RAND, which there is a recent program, the PPP model. Mr. Speaker, yes, National Youth Service has fast RAND in different parts of the country, and most of the RAND is not utilized. And that's why we are coming in with a remittent company, so that commercial activities, commercial farming activities can take place in this fast RAND which National Youth Service has. And I gave an example, a very simple example, without even going into those complex and lofty ideas. very simple idea where we experience drought cycles in this country, and many livestock end up dying because of drought. And National Youth Service can farm livestock fodder, and this fodder can be sold when the right time comes, and it can earn money. Simple idea, and which can make millions of Kenyan shilling through utilizing of the first land we have. Some of the land are in my brother's Senator Laikibia, where farming of fodder can be done by National Youth Service, and sell that to those who are keeping livestock in Garissa County, in Mandera, in Wajir, in Marsabit, and many other counties. And the last question, Mr. Speaker, is by Senator Esther, and is on what revenue are we going to generate from the commercial activities, and how much will be, how much we will save from government. Mr. Speaker, as I mentioned also previously, from commercial activities, because it's estimation, but I will push as a minister the National Youth Service Limited to ensure it goes beyond 4 billion Kenyan shilling. The estimation at the moment is 4 billion Kenyan shilling, and this will save the budget for the first year with about 40% of what the requirement of a budget of National Youth Services. So this, Mr. Speaker, is something which we need to implement with the speed and urgency which is required, because government resources are very limited, and we have many activities which are supposed to be financed by the government. We need to be innovative. We need to be creative in the way we approach the government business, so that we can support our young people across the country, so that our young people can have proper skills, and so that we can train many young people from all corners of the country. Mr. Speaker, National Youth Service has enough training ground for the young people of the country. But what we are missing at the moment is the resources required, because it's an expensive affair. Therefore, we have to think out of the box to get these resources so that we can be able to train many young people. Wherever we go in our counties, in our constituencies, Mr. Speaker, you always find young people who are involved in border riding and other activities in the village. We need to harness their youthful age and train them, make sure the young, they acquire proper skills which we can use to build our nation. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, now we have maybe 2 more questions, because we have, our time is almost 12 minutes to time, the 1 hour question time. So let me hear from Senator Okech Eddie.
Mr. Speaker, the CS has talked for long, so therefore there's a lot of data that he has talked about that informs my question. So just allow me 1 minute, because this is one of the economically not viable projects that I've heard from government. I don't know why the government would do business with itself in the context that is being shared here. And I am asking the CS to stand there and tell us what is the viability framework for what they are proposing. And that question is informed by what he has talked about here, Mr. Speaker, which is, if you look at today, Mr. Speaker, NYS is recruiting about 18,000 to 20,000 people now. In its own strategic planning and the government strategic planning, they have said NYS is going to recruit up to 100,000 people by 2028. Yet the job placement on that recruitment, and they have cited it, that the recruits are eligible for up to 30% of all government jobs. The biggest asset for NIS is not land, is not what is quoting here. The biggest asset for NYS is the manpower, the people who are employed here. If these young people were trained, 100,000 are there. How are you going to form a company that will utilize that asset, which is the young people? For instance, Mr. Speaker, KCB Bank, which is the biggest bank in this country, making over 60 billion, today can only employ 12,000 people. Equity Bank can only employ 7,700 people. Safaricom can only employ 6,600 people. Diageo, through EBL, can only employ about 3,000 people. Is this realistic, Mr. Speaker? Shouldn't the government spend time on training these young people, use those assets to create opportunity for them outside government, as well as enlarging the placement of them within other government departments? This is a CS who used to be in this house and is running the entire public sector of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. Where is the viability framework?
What is your question, Senator?
Let him to tell us the viability framework of this company that he's talking about. It doesn't make any sense. The government cannot trade by itself. There is no viability program on this at all, in my assessment.
Honorable CS, what he is asking, if I got him right, is okay, once you start this company, where will this company get jobs from? Is it from the government? Like maybe say building loans, constructing houses, or from where? Because what the member is saying in a different way is that you will be able, if you start that company, then you are killing the business community, because that is the same pot they get business from. Just have a seat, yes, we get another.
Can I, Mr. Speaker, can I answer that question first?
No, have you? Yours is honorable CS. Yes, I'm just coming to.
Asante.
Okay, just a minute.
Asante, Bwana Spika. Nimesikiza kwa makini waziri alivyokuwa. Kwanza karibu kabisa waziri Roko. Nimesikiza kwa makini sana, Bwana Spika, akisema kuhusu vile huduma kwa taifa itafanywa kampuni. Bwana Spika, si kuona sababu yoyote ambayo inafanywa hii huduma ifanywe kampuni, kwa sababu ametuambia itabaki vile vile, kwa sababu 99% itakuwa ni ya huduma kwa taifa. Alafu 1% itakuwa katika wizara ya fedha. Kile kimenistua zaidi, Bwana Spika, ni vile alivyosema ya kwamba eti kwa sababu hii kampuni itakayoanzishwa itaweza kuwa na akaunti zake za benki. Bwana Spika, hii itakuwa ya kwanza, kwa sababu mashirika mengi ya serikali yamekuwa na akaunti zao, Bwana Spika. Alafu tunapata hizi shirika za serikali, hata ijapokuwa zina akaunti zao, zinaendelea kufanya hasara, na vile vile tunapata ufisadi pale. Bwana Spika ametuelezea kwamba ati kwa sababu pesa hazitakuwa zikipelekwa katika hazina ya kitaifa ama hazina kuu, Bwana Spika, kutakuwa na ule msisimuko na kazi kufanywa kwa haraka. Hakutuelezea, Bwana Spika, utendakazi umeharibikia wapi katika huduma ya taifa, kwa sababu hawana hizi akaunti za benki, Bwana Spika. Vile vile, Bwana Spika, nimemsikiza kwa makini wakati alipokuwa akituambia mambo ya ufisadi. Akasema ufisadi ulikuwa ni wa mwaka wa 2014. Lakini Bwana Spika, ni hivi juzi yeye mwenyewe akiwa waziri ametoa taarifa na kusema ya kwamba kuna kisio zaidi ya bilioni 2 huduma ya kitaifa ya Gilgil, na akasema uchunguzi ufanywe kuanzia mwaka wa 2019. Kwa hivyo, Bwana Spika, sijui ni kwa nini nasema kukisiwa kupotea kwa bilioni 2 za pesa za umma ni kitu kidogo, kwa sababu yeye sijui anapata pesa ngapi, Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo swali langu, Bwana Spika, ni atuelezee kinaga ubaga ni mambo yapi. Alafu Bwana Spika, amejaribu kulinganisha chuo kikuu cha Nairobi na huduma ya kitaifa. Bwana Spika, chuo kikuu cha Nairobi kina matatizo chungu nzima. Wewe umeona vile ambavyo tumekuwa tukipitia katika haya mambo. Kwa hivyo kulinganisha watu wawili ambao wanaelekea kufa, Bwana Spika, sioni haja. Asante Bwana Spika.
Senator Veronica Maina.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to seek a clarification. I had requested the Honorable CS to confirm whether it is possible for your ministry to be youth-focused and to focus all the procurement around NYS and around that ministry to the youth. A very specific question: is it possible that you become so youth-focused that we concentrate on the youth, especially for your ministry? Designate the procurement in your ministry to the youth, because we have a youth bulge and a youth population. I have tournament right now in Murang'a County. The youths I'm speaking to, graduates, are in the villages, seated, not doing much. Can we focus on the youth in your ministry and maybe in the Ministry of Agriculture?
Senator Chalge Samson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sam, I've heard Waziri Ruku saying that there are people being investigated in NYS over corruption, which is okay by EACC. What I need to know from him, because we know the history of NYS with corruption is synonymous. As a minister and as a ministry, what strategies has he put in place, Mr. Speaker, to avert any misappropriation or funds within the NYS? And Mr. Speaker, in line with that, he should say something about the young people, especially the youth, concerning the internship program under Public Service Commission, which is under him, Mr. Speaker. And in all honesty and fairness, is to advise him government does not do business anywhere in the world. Is it in order for him to retract that statement that he's making? I know he has been busy campaigning in Beira North, which is understandable, but he must retract that statement. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Chalge, your question has no relationship with what is happening in any part of the country. You ask a question in good faith, so that the CS can answer you in ultimate good faith, right? This is the last one, Senator David Wakoli.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Mine is just to find out from the good minister that the numbers of graduates from NYS is quite encouraging, and the police and the army are about to recruit these young people who have gone halfway training in the military courses. I want to know from the minister, how many are we going to tap from these NYS? Because from our interaction with them, they are professionals. They are plumbers, electricians, drivers, chefs, and it's important that when they are recruiting, we need to know how many and from which region, so that it is squarely equal across the country, so that our forces are equally united when they meet in the battlefield. Thank you, and welcome.
CS, you can proceed to answer the questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for these more questions. And thank you for the good work which the Senate is doing to keep Kenyans informed, and us, those who are in executive, that we are accountable to our day-to-day activities in our offices. Mr. Speaker, the fiability framework, whether the company that we are registering, National Youth Service is just registering, whether it is fiable. Mr. Speaker, I want to also speak now as a student of business, because, Mr. Speaker, I have spent quite a number of years in School of Business, about 6 years, I'm trained in Bachelor of Commerce as well as Masters of Business Administration in Finance. And I'm able to analyze keenly, not only when we get experts from University of Nairobi to advise us on whether this can be viable or not, but also myself sitting as a minister and also as someone who has been involved in entrepreneurship in the past before I joined Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I want to state categorically, without fear of contradiction, that indeed this is an extremely viable venture. It's an opportunity that National Youth Service is not utilizing. The resources which we have as government cannot continue financing paramilitary training, the taxpayers' money, paramilitary training in Gilgil, vocational training in our many 22 TIFET institutes which National Youth Service trainees are sent to. That the Kenyan taxpayer money is the one which we are using to pay for the training of this recruit. Mr. Speaker, we have to think out of the box. We have to ask ourselves, what is this National Youth Service as it is established by the Act of Parliament? What is this it can do to scoop the cream of the market? And we have a lot that it can do to scoop the cream of the market. Mr. Speaker, sir, the government of Kenya, through presidential initiative of 15 billion tree planting across the country, is a very ambitious program and an extremely important program for landscape restoration of our country so that we can avert the effect of climate change. Mr. Speaker, sir, if you go to Yatta training camp, we have first land belonging to National Youth Service, land which can be used to plant seedling, to germinate seedlings, Mr. Speaker. And those seedlings can be sold at the market price so that that government program, National Youth Service can take advantage of and earn money. Money which will go into training of more youth of our country. That's just one example, simple example, of just selling seedlings across the Republic of Kenya. It is viable, Mr. Speaker. Today, if you go to Yatta, there are more than 3,000 seedlings for ash avocado, which is one of the best variety of avocado in the country, which is earning huge amount of money from Murang'a County and many other counties through selling of avocado in outside the country, in China market and many other markets. Germination of ash avocado can bring us money which we can utilize to grow the activities, the trading of the young people. Mr. Speaker, we cannot continue trading only 18,000 young people every financial year. This country has millions of young people who can be trained at National Youth Service. We want to grow this training from 18,000 to even 500,000 every year, if it is possible, so that young people can get skills. The skills development is extremely important for ensuring this country.
Just one moment, Cabinet Secretary. What is your clarification, Senator Eddy?
Mr. Speaker, I'm not being impatient. I have asked a very specific question. The CS has spent a lot of time talking about the rationale for why they want to start this company. I have asked about the viability of this company. And the viability here, Mr. Speaker, if you allow me, what product is this company going to engage in? As the CS looked at the market potential for that product, as the CS look at the revenue streams for that product, because we don't want a situation whereby A company is going to be formed to do everything in this country, to grow ash avocado, to go and grow sugar cane, to go and sell, I don't know, alcohol. I want a specific product that this company is going to do so that you tell us whether it is profitable as a company and can be able to deal with the problem of placing the 100,000 young people who don't have jobs and even pay them if they're going to be employees of that company. Whatever he's saying is not a viability framework. He's still giving us rationale. I don't want that. I want the viability framework for this company that they're proposing.
Senator Cherargei.
Mr. Speaker, you're not understanding Order 58. We have understood the background of what the CS is saying. We have understood. Mr. Speaker, the questions, we want precise answers. Number one, this is not a lecture room. Two, Mr. Speaker, under the Company Act, there is what we call objects of a company. What I've heard the CS saying, we'll grow the seedlings, 3 seedlings, 15 billion trees, which is okay. We'll grow us avocados, which is okay. We'll do construction, we'll do blah, 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 blah. This is not a abracadabra company. The Company Act, CAF 48 laws of Kenya, is very clear. Before you establish a company, Mr. Speaker, you must have aim and objectives. Can the CS be precise, Mr. Speaker, so that we can move with other businesses of the House? I thank you.
Senator Eddy and Senator Cherargei, I must confess that you did not give the CS an opportunity to conclude his submission. He was probably coming to that. If you had actually been patient, as you stated, Eddy, probably was transitioning to the viability of the company. So let's give him an opportunity to answer. Don't jump the horses. But, Cabinet Secretary, please proceed.
Can I proceed, Mr. Speaker? Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senator Cherargei and Senator Ketch. These are my very good friends. Mr. Speaker, the object of the company is to do business in the following areas. 1, engineering and mechanization services. 2, construction services. 3, agricultural production. 4, agri-value addition. 5, hospitality services. 6, garment and textile. 7, security services. 8, development services. Mr. Speaker,
Senators, let us hear the CS in silence. You've asked the question, let him answer. Proceed, Cabinet Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, it is clear, it is straight, it is precise. Mr. Speaker, on the that the government must not spend money a question from Senator Kenywa that we have lost, the government has lost 2 billion Kenya sharing and is a matter under the investigation. Mr. Speaker, I never said anywhere that NYS has lost 2 billion Kenya sharing. What I said, Mr. Speaker, I want this to be on record, is that there is an investigation going on by EACC, and the EACC, they are estimating that there's likelihood National Youth Service has lost 2 billion Kenya shilling. And that is the investigation which is going on to unearth whether it is true or not. And we are saying the investigation is active. We will get the report from EACC. And once we have the report from EACC, we will report to Kenyans, we will report to this Parliament, Mr. Speaker. Question from Senator Veronica. Mr. Speaker, to confirm whether it is possible for my ministry, the Ministry of Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Program, to be youth-focused. Mr. Speaker, all ministries operate through executive order. Executive order which is issued by the President by the end of state and end of government. The mandate which the Ministry of Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Programs has been given by the President, who is the head of government, is clear. And that is what I am focusing on as a minister. And I cannot deviate from the executive order, Mr. Speaker. However, having said that, the Ministry of Public Service is charged with the responsibility of internships. And at the moment, we are in process of ensuring that by January this year, 100,000 young people will be included in an internship program. At the moment, Mr. Speaker, we have 3,800. You can imagine moving from 3,800 every year to 100,000 is a huge step forward, so that we can be able to get many young people who are graduating from colleges and universities getting opportunities to get trained in different government institutions, and thereafter, after 1 year, they can be employed in other sectors, Mr. Speaker. So the Ministry of Public Service is ensuring that there is a internship program from 3,800 to 100,000 to take care of the needs of young people, who many of them are not getting these opportunities as it is at the moment. That's the effort which we are working on as a ministry, and also the effort of ensuring the National Youth Service in January this year will recruit 40,000 young people in training. The Ministry of Youth has also its own initiatives, Mr. Speaker, and there are quite a number of initiatives under the Ministry of Youth. Mr. Speaker, the strategies which the ministry or the government is using to ensure that there will be no corruption at National Youth Service. As I said, Mr. Speaker, I instructed PPRA, Public Procurement and Regulatory Authority, to do a thorough audit from the year 2018 all the way to now, which they have just completed, and we are analyzing that report so that we can take the necessary actions to ensure we strengthen the governance structure of National Youth Service. Also, the involvement of EACC, Mr. Speaker, which is an active matter at the moment, is also a process and strategy of ensuring NYS will not be taken to ICU, that it will continue having good health so that it can be able to conduct its business as it's stipulated in the National Youth Service Act. My good senator has asked how many National Youth Service graduates will be recruited in KDF and in police. Mr. Speaker, there is a presidential directive. The President of Kenya gave a directive during the graduation ceremony at Gilgil this year in August 27 that National Police Service is going to recruit 4,000 trainees and graduates from National Youth Service. Out of the 10,000 recruits this year, 4,000 will come from National Youth Service. And I think that is quite impressive, and we continue to thank the President for his leadership in that direction. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Is there a question, Mr. Speaker, that I've...
Honorable Senators, I think we had concluded the question time. Yeah. Point of clarification? Yes, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable CS. I think that's a good idea to recruit the 4,000 NYS soldiers to the police service. But maybe how will this be done? And the time that they left off, they left maybe the training. Will you be considering those who left earlier, or maybe even those who have left this year? So what system will you use to, sorry, Waziri, I was asking, this is a good idea of recruiting the 4,000 NYS guys. But I was asking, maybe you must be also careful and also to make it very open. From which year will you be starting to recruit? Because you know there are those who left 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Even others left the training this year. So will you maybe, if the age is 26 years, will you be as much as possible try to recruit those who left earlier so that also they don't surpass the 25 years before they are recruited to the police force?
Senator Cherargei, what is your intervention?
Mr. Speaker, I would have expected Waziri to be precise with an eye of a military marksman, because, Mr. Speaker, I asked a very simple question. That one, what are strategies that he has put in place to fight corruption in NYS? That was my very specific question. He has said audit. What has he put in place? And on that question, Mr. Speaker, I had asked what place, Mr. Speaker, you and me know, even in Garissa, there are so many young people who do not have opportunities. The minister has just given a blanket statement by saying the ministry has many youth initiatives. Can he tell us about maybe internship, about junior secondary school confirmation, Mr. Speaker, about Nyota program, about Asila Fund? Can he be precise? Because we have, Mr. Speaker, you and me, when you go to Garissa, young people with Garissa will take you to task and ask you, what is it for the youth that the government is doing? Can he be precise?
Thank you,
Waziri
Senator.
Ruku.
Thank you, Senator. Cabinet Secretary, please respond.
Starting with the Deputy Speaker, Mr. Speaker, there is a matrix which will be announced to the public to use to recruit the 4,000 graduates from National Youth Service for them to get into National Police Service. That matrix will involve what these graduates trained, because most of them, I mean, they did different courses at National Youth Service. They graduated different years. They attained different grades. All these will be published to the public so that we can be transparent as possible. And also all the regions will be taken care of, Mr. Speaker, out of these 4,000 who will be recruited in National Police Service. The strategies which Honorable Senator Cherargei is pushing very hard, and I thank you, Senator. Digitization of the National Youth Service operations is something that we have stressed on. At the moment, no paperwork in terms of all the procurement activities going on in National Youth Service. To ensure we can be able to have a proper trail, we can be able to sense where there may be acts of corruption as early as possible. And that's why we were able to stop those 3 individuals who we have mentioned here before it became, it went out of hand, Mr. Speaker. So digitization is one of the strategies and effort which we are ensuring we are putting in place in National Youth Service. And not only in National Youth Service, but also in the entire Ministry of Public Service. The other program for the youth, as I have mentioned, as Senator Cherargei has said, as far as the question of Senator Veronica is concerned, I said we have many government programs which are being implemented by government to involve young people from Kazi Maju to employment through Kazi Mitaani, to affordable housing program, to internship programs, to Nyota program. All these are in effort of ensuring that our young people are engaged to even the 30% procurement opportunities for the young people. All these are efforts to ensure young people are actively engaged economically, and they are all considered by the effort which government is putting in place. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Cabinet Secretary. Honorable Senators, we have come to the conclusion of the question and answers by the Cabinet Secretary, Geoffrey Ruku, and I want to take this opportunity, Cabinet Secretary, to thank you for your presence here today and for responding to the questions raised by the Senators. And I also want to wish you all the best in your new duties. And we may let you go now. Thank you, Cabinet Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, I take this opportunity to thank all the senators for your time and for the questions. And it is our responsibility, those who are in executive, to ensure we give Kenyans correct information on what the government is doing on a day-to-day basis. Mr. Speaker, there's a saying in our community, we say that if you are given an opportunity to feed someone who cannot be able to see, and this I'm translating directly from my mother tongue, because I don't know how you put it in proper English, that if you are given an opportunity to feed someone who is not able to see, you have to keep on whistling for the person to be sure that you are not eating his or her food. Therefore, it is the responsibility of those who are tasked with the executive responsibility of this nation to keep on informing Kenyans what we are doing on a day-to-day basis. And I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me that opportunity to inform Kenyans what we are doing as a ministry. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Cabinet Secretary, and keep whistling.
I will keep whistling, Mr.
Thank
Speaker.
you.
Thank you.
Honorable Senators, we shall proceed to the next order. Clerk.
Order number 8, motion, establishment of national teaching and referral hospitals in Kenya.
Kinyo, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I'm reading my order paper and it's showing me there's another Cabinet Secretary who I'm still waiting. That's why I'm seated here.
Thank you, Senator Kinyo, for reminding me. My apologies, Honorable Senators. We have received an apology from the Cabinet Secretary, John Mbadi, and he has requested for his question time to be rescheduled to a later date. And the request was received. No, it was received in the right channel. Let me just put it that way. So, Honorable Senators, we shall proceed to the next order. What's your point of clarity?
Mr. Speaker, you know the CS of National Treasury was supposed to appear, CS John Mbadi. I think if my memory serves me right, he has requested for many deferment of his response to this House far too long, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, looking at this question and statement 51 all the way to request for statement, Mr. Speaker, to 55, all the way, Mr. Speaker, my concern is the time on the period to request adjournment, because, Mr. Speaker, when we left the chamber yesterday, we were sure that 3 cabinet ministers would appear. CS for gender, CS for youth, and CS for national treasury, Mr. Speaker. The CS Mbadi to request in the morning, yet he knew very well that he's scheduled to answer answers, Mr. Speaker. We have questions on the allocation of money to junior secondary schools, confirmation of internship into permanent and pensionable, Mr. Speaker. We have questions on payment of pensions. We have questions on many things, even allocations to them. Mr. Speaker, can I just 30 seconds so that I conclude?
No, I have understood your clarification.
So, Mr. Speaker,
Senator,
can I conclude? Mr. Speaker, I request,
conclude.
Is it in order for you to direct that the cabinet minister to appear as soon as next Wednesday, Mr. Speaker, because I don't think there is enough reason as to why he's avoiding to appear before this House, Mr. Speaker. We need his expert advice. He's one of the expert ministers. We need to see the contents of that letter, Mr. Speaker, in our official WhatsApp group.
Senator Cherargei, let me first correct you. You don't know if the letter was received this morning. I'm actually informed the letter was received yesterday, but it was received after the SPC meeting. And that's why there was no earlier communication. But the request that you've put forward for the chair to rule that the CS appears next week is also not upon the chair. This is a matter which will be rescheduled by the SPC, and they will inform the House. So, Senator Cherargei, like I said, the apology has been received. It will be rescheduled, and the House shall be informed accordingly. So can we proceed to the next order? No, I'm not taking any more clarification. Senator Mwaruma, move your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to move this motion on establishment of national teaching and referral hospitals in Kenya. Mr. Speaker,
Senator,
I to move that.
Senator Kinyo, what is your intervention?
Article 43(1)(a) of the Constitution.
Just one moment,
Kenya.
Senator Mwaruma. What is your intervention, Senator Kinyo?
Mr. Speaker, we have our standing orders. Mr. Speaker, our standing orders are very clear when we invite the outsiders, Mr. Speaker. Even in our committees, we give 7 days. We can't just invite them in the morning and we expect them to come. Mr. Speaker, even them, Mr. Speaker, even them, when they are not coming in these for the purpose of answering questions, the standing order is very clear, the time duration that they're supposed to give to this House. Mr. Speaker, we are so busy, like my colleague and leader, Enoch Wambua. He's here for purpose
What is the time duration?
7 days. 7 days, Mr. Speaker, the same time that we are supposed to give them. 7 days, Mr. Speaker. Then my concern, Mr. Speaker, is why is this issue of the minister being brushed aside so quickly and we move on as if nothing has happened? When we were busy here waiting, you heard what Senator Cherargei said, the question he wanted to ask the minister. People in Laikipia are waiting for answers. People in Kitui are waiting for answers as well, people from Nandi.
Yes.
Mercy, can you give me the mic? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, this is the standing orders that guide us like a Bible bishop through the Speaker. This is the creation of Constitution under Article 123. When you look at our standing order 51A, which we amended, Part 6, in scheduling the date for appearance under paragraph 5, the Senate Business Committee shall provide at least 7 days notice to the respective cabinet secretary. So the upshot of interpretation of this standing order, Mr. Speaker, is we never ambush the CS. And even the standing order says the responses should be provided 24 hours. Is it 24 hours? Before the appearance of the cabinet minister, Mr. Speaker. So is it in order that the cabinet minister is ambushing this August House yesterday evening by requesting for the apology not to appear? Yet this is not the first time that CS Mbadi has failed to appear before the Senate, Mr. Speaker. There are so many questions that we should know from the Ministry of National Treasury, especially concerning money, Mr. Speaker. And you know, money is a very serious issue and resources, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, standing order number 1, and I hope the table office will guide appropriately, you should invoke standing order number 1, Mr. Speaker, because you have powers, and direct that the CS appear without fail by Wednesday next week to answer the questions we have raised, Mr. These questions have been in the order paper for almost 3 months, Mr. Speaker. And we have given him 7 days as per Standing Order 51A, Part 6, Mr. Speaker. Is it even fair to this House? If the minister knew he would not appear, why not give us adequate notice of even 5 or 3 days so that we can reschedule the business of the House? Senator Mwaruma would have moved, Mr. Speaker. Senator Mwaruma would have moved his motion if he had told us that it's not there, Mr. Speaker. So tell the CS apology not accepted.
Yes, Wambua.
Mr. Speaker, Senator Cherargei also needs to be reminded that these are the fruits of some engagement called broad-based government. You make your bed, you must be willing to lie on it. Mr. Speaker, having said that, Article 125 of the Constitution, and these are higher authority, it's very, very clear, Mr. Speaker, that either House of Parliament and any of the committees has the power to summon any person to appear before it for purposes of providing information. Mr. Speaker, when you go to Article 132 of the Constitution on the functions of the President, the first responsibility of the President is to Parliament. It's to address Parliament. And Mr. Speaker, if the President is required by the Constitution to appear before Parliament, I don't know why cabinet ministers find it so difficult, Mr. Speaker, to appear before Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I say this with a lot of pain, because on your desk, Mr. Speaker, because you are the Speaker, there is a censure motion against the CS for Treasury, requested by yours truly, the Senator of Kitui. Because this CS has made it a habit that he can only appear before Parliament even when he chooses to appear. That's because when you listen to what the senators are saying, they are saying, exert the authority of the chair. Let us not send the wrong signal to these cabinet secretaries that we are requesting them to appear before Parliament, because we are not. It is a requirement that they must appear. So, Speaker, when Senator Kenywa and Senator Cherargei say, give orders that the CS should appear on Wednesday, Mr. Speaker, it is not an idle request, Mr. Speaker. It is an attempt to exert the authority of this Parliament and the authority of the chair. So that SBC, Mr. Speaker, SBC is also a creature of this House. It's not like they are superior to this House. The SBC is not superior to the authority of the Speaker, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, give direction. So, order the CS to appear before Senate on Wednesday. And we close this matter and we move on. If he doesn't appear, Mr. Speaker, then that censure motion, Mr. Speaker, breathe life to that censure motion and let us discuss that CS.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Senator Enoch Wambua. Senator Enoch Wambua, the CS has appeared before, just to correct your submission. And this is the first time he has not appeared for this set of questions. So your submission, yes, I'm informing you, we are not censuring him. It was so you were wrongly censuring him. So let me correct you. Senator Cherargei, you know we are guided by the standing orders. Standing Order 51A, procedure for asking questions. If you go to 51A5, the Senate Business Committee shall schedule a date and time of appearance of relevant cabinet secretaries before the Senate to respond to the question. So your request asking the chair to instruct the CS to appear next week is not guided by the standing orders. This is the work of the Senate Business Committee. And if you read 51A6, in scheduling of the date for response under paragraph 5, the Senate Business Committee shall provide at least 7 days notice to the respective cabinet. And then I want to take you to Standing Order 51C, response to questions by Cabinet Secretary, 51C5. And this is why I informed the House that the letter was received yesterday, which is 24 hours before. 51CA states, a Cabinet Secretary shall provide a physical or electronic copy of response to a question at least 24 hours before appearing in the Senate. So the Cabinet Secretary did send his apologies 24 hours before. It is, a Cabinet Secretary shall appear in person. It is a response, but you know, his request also is a response to appearing to this House. So we shall leave it at that. We shall leave it at that. Senator Mwaruma, move your motion. I'll allow the senator to move the motion. We will take this matter forward.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that aware that Article 43(1) of the Constitution of Kenya provides that every person has the right to the highest attainable standard of health, including reproductive health care, noting that in Kenya, we have 5 national teaching and referral hospitals, with Kenyatta University Research and Teaching Hospital in Kiambu County and Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County, being the only ones outside Nairobi, concerned that the bed capacity, medical equipment, and human capital in these national teaching and referral hospitals are not sufficient to absorb all patients seeking specialized treatment. Further concerned that many Kenyans with critical health conditions travel long distances in order to access specialized services in Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital in Eldoret or Nairobi, where the other 4 national teaching and referral hospitals are located, leading to high cost of travel, augmented disease, and some cases, deaths along the way. Now, therefore, the Senate urges the Ministry of Health to, 1, establish national teaching and referral hospitals in Coast, Eastern, Northeastern, Nyanza, and Western regions, and 2, fully equip the national teaching and referral hospitals with modern equipment, medical supplies, and personnel, and 2, the county governments to allocate more funds to the respective health dockets to adequately facilitate their county level 5 and 6 hospitals in order to enhance provision of critical health services, to reduce the demand for such services from the national teaching and referral hospitals. Mr. Speaker, this is almost a very straightforward motion, which recognizes the fact that there are areas with teaching and referral hospitals that are Nairobi, Kiambu, and Rift Valley, and that the rest of the regions, which are the former provinces in Kenya under the previous constitution, do not have these very important facilities which deal with specialized treatment of our people. The current referral hospitals, and I would look at the profile of each. The first one is Kenyatta National Hospital, which is in Nairobi, Upper Hill. It has 1,800 beds. It is actually the largest in East and Central Africa, and it serves as a teaching and referral hospital for University of Nairobi. The other one, which is Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, MTRH, is located in Uasin Gishu in Rift Valley. It has a capacity of 1,020 beds, and it serves as teaching and referral hospital for Moi University. The third one is Madari, which is in Nairobi. It has a capacity of 800 beds, and it specializes in mental health services. The other one is the Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital, which is located in Kiambu, which has a capacity of 600 beds. And the fifth one is the National Spinal Injury Hospital, which is also located in Nairobi, and it deals with treatment and rehabilitation of spinal injuries. These hospitals, Mr. Speaker, are crucial as they provide specialized services and are equipped to handle complex medical services. They are operated and financed through the exchequer from the national government, Mr. Speaker. And I would like to say this, that there are adequate provisions in the Constitution, in national development frameworks, and other statutes, Mr. Speaker, that deal with the provision of health care. The first one, Mr. Speaker, is a right under the Constitution, right to access of quality health care, as is provisioned under Article 43(1)(a), that states every person has the right to highest attainable standard of health, which includes access to health care services and reproductive health. Mr. Speaker, this motion urges the state to do its obligations. And the first obligation, Mr. Speaker, under this provision of the Constitution is to make necessary policy framework and other measures to achieve progressive realization, to achieve attainment of this right. Mr. Speaker, generally, primary health care is devolved, and we have tried to achieve equitable distribution of this health care, because under devolution, there is money that goes to counties as shareable revenue, which then deals with level 1 up to level 6 hospitals, but the distribution of these national teaching and referral hospitals have not achieved, being just in 3 counties, that is, or regions, that is Nairobi region, Central region, and Rift Valley region. We've not achieved that equitable distribution of the hospitals, and therefore access to quality, highest attainable quality health care has not been achieved. The other framework that has requested or has required our government to ensure that there is provision of this health care is the Sustainable Development Goal. Mr. Speaker, under SDG 3, or Sustainable Development Goal 3, which talks about good health and well-being. This goal ensures that we have healthy lives and that we promote well-being at all ages of our people. And the key target under the Sustainable Development Goal 3 is that we need to achieve or attain universal health coverage. I know the government or the national government, and also in collaboration with the county government, they have done quite some step, especially in the passing of legislation to do with the social health or establishment of social health authority and the establishment of social health insurance fund, that is SHA and SHIF. But then again, Mr. Speaker, this is not adequate. In terms of development blueprints for our national government, we have the Kenya Vision 2030, and in that blueprint, Mr. Speaker, it prioritizes the provision of equitable, affordable, and quality health care as a pillar for socio-economic transformation, Mr. Speaker. Now, the word that captures me under Vision 2030 is the term equitable, that even as we are struggling to prioritize healthcare, that provision of healthcare must be equitable. So, under the national government hospitals, which provide specialized treatment, they are not equitably distributed, Mr. Speaker, because then they only exist in 3 regions. So this motion, which requires, which urges, which implores the national government to establish these national referral hospitals, is not just requesting for those referral hospitals to be established, but to be established equitably within the regions. Mr. Speaker, there is also the National Health Policy 2014 to 2030. This is a national framework designed to align the SDG goals with specific focus on implementing the constitutional provisions for health. So there is also the National Health Policy 2014-2030 that then seeks to establish a framework on which to operationalize the provisions or to actualize the provisions of the Constitution, that is provision of healthcare to all citizens, which is affordable and which is quality in nature, Mr. Speaker. This quest to establish these hospitals in these regions, Mr. Speaker, is also to ensure that we have equitable distribution of national resources. Mr. Speaker, under the Constitution, under the devolved ecosystem, we have tried under the laws that we pass in this House, that is the Division of Revenue Act, the County Allocation of Revenue Act, and the County Government Additional Allocations Act, to distribute equitably the resources in the county governments. But there is lack of a framework to make sure that every region in Kenya gets equitable distribution of the resources under the national government. Mr. Speaker, I've always wondered that after we distribute the money as shareable revenue to counties and conditional grants, we don't have any framework to make sure that whatever remains in the national government has been distributed equitably. Actually, what goes to region or different regions in the country mostly has to do with political expediency. Possibly how many votes a county or a region brings on the table, so much so that if you come from a region that does not have a lot of votes, then you'll be left behind in terms of development from the national government. And so the quest for equitable distribution of resources, or the national government resources, this framework to give or to bring hospitals, to establish hospitals within the regions is part of that quest to have equitable distribution of resources. And policies cannot be passed under the Senate, they are passed under the National Assembly. There should be a framework of making sure that if we pass a national government budget, then some money should go to counties, say even 1 billion or 2 billion per county, to make sure that the national government money or resources are equitably distributed within the regions. And if that was happening, Mr. Speaker, then such a motion would not even be necessary. But it is necessary because there is no framework for making sure that the taxpayers' money go equitably to the different regions of our country. So this motion is fashioned or is established or is geared towards ensuring that the health services can be distributed equitably. Otherwise, then achievement of equitable and highest attainable health care within the regions would still remain a mirage, Mr. Speaker. So my proposal really is that we establish in the former regions, the coast region, that is the former provinces in Kenya, national referral hospitals, and these regions are coast region. It does not have a referral hospital. We have the northeastern region, that is the northern frontier districts, where, Mr. Speaker, you come from. We don't have a referral hospital. The former. The eastern province, former eastern province, there is no referral hospital. There's the Nyanza region, although today I'm told that information could not be accurate because we have Jaramogi, which might have transitioned to national teaching and referral, and possibly Kisii is almost there. But if they have not been established there, then that is the thrust of this motion, that let us have also in the Western region a national teaching and referral hospital. In the former Nyanza region, we also have a teaching and referral hospital. We already have one in Rift Valley, in Nairobi, and in Central. And apart from just distributing these resources equitably, we'll also reduce the distances that patients have to travel and making it cheaper to access the specialized health care. I'm imagining somebody who comes from Lamu, Tana River, they have to travel all the way to Nairobi to access specialized treatment in the Kenyatta Hospital, Teaching and Referral Hospital, or the Kenyatta University Hospital, Teaching and Referral Hospital, or they go to Eldoret in Uasin Gishu at the Boy Teaching and Referral. It's very expensive. And when you have specialized operations, for example, brain operation, you must also go for clinics. It doesn't end there. So you can imagine maybe every 2 weeks you're supposed to travel from Lamu and go to access the clinics. Then it becomes extremely expensive. And therefore, to reduce these expenses, we are proposing that in the coastal region, for example, the people from the coastal region can decide, is it Taita Taveta that we're establishing that hospital? Is it in Mombasa, a new hospital, or upgrading the Coast General Hospital? Shall it be located in Kilifi or Tana River? So that we have the people of that region getting these very important services, Mr. Speaker. I would want to say that there are also other benefits that come with having a referral hospital in a region. For example, if people go to Eldoret, for example, they are treated, but the people who have taken them to the hospital, they can't spend at the hospitals. And so they spend around in the Eldoret town, and they bring a lot of money to that town in what we call medical tourism, Madam Speaker. If you had these hospitals also in the coast region, the western region, the lower eastern region, or the eastern region, then also such benefits would accruing from the existence of these referral hospitals will also be enjoyed by those regions, Mr. Speaker. So we are crying that we want equitable distribution of these healthcare facilities to reduce the traveling expenses of these people. And at times, it's not just about the expenses. These people end up dying along the way. If you come from Lamu and you have to travel all the way to Nairobi, those are about 1,000 kilometers. Before you reach Nairobi, the patient could have passed away. And Mr. Speaker, this is a motion that can be improved upon, because if you look at the lower northeast, the former northeastern region, shall we put it at the headquarters? Because at times, the former regional headquarters of that region could be very far off from the counties. So it's also possible not just to use the previous headquarters of the provinces. We can choose a place where it is central so that you can locate that referral hospital, Mr. Speaker. So it is subject to a lot of debate, but the most important thing is let us have these hospitals established in these regions so that we can have this healthcare thriving, and we are able to assist our people to achieve at highest attainable medical care. And with this, Mr. Speaker, I beg to move and request Senator Beatrice Ogola to second this very important motion. I beg to move.
Beatrice Ogola, you may second.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for granting me the opportunity to second the motion of Senator Mwaruma, my senior colleague, both in the House and in the party. Honorable Speaker, I rise to second this motion. It is a motion that speaks to my heart and to the heart of most Kenyans. It is a motion that seeks to establish the establishment of national teaching and referral hospitals in Kenya. And this is crucial to me and should be crucial to everybody in the Republic, because this is a motion that addresses the issue of access to health in the specialized areas of medical attention that our people seek in the country. It is a motion that speaks to equity. It is a motion that speaks to affordability, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'm also a champion of an SDG champion, and particularly a believer that a healthy nation is a very productive nation, Honorable Speaker. That the people of Kenya have a right to access, not only in terms of quality, Honorable Speaker, which speaks to the services that the motion mover has clearly spelled out as he moved the motion. Honorable Speaker, it is very clearly that for a long time, Kenyans have to travel long distances from wherever they are, and these are Kenyans, Honorable Speaker, that are sick. Some of them that are terminally ill are not in their good shape, Honorable Speaker, but they have to travel long distances to the current established referral hospitals that the mover of the motion has mentioned, and that has been primarily Kenyatta, which also has limited bed capacity, Honorable Speaker. We have the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, Kenyatta University, the National Spiral Injuries Hospital, and the Mathare Hospital has been stated. Honorable Speaker, if you have to have only 5 referral hospitals against the over 50 million Kenyans, that itself has been an historical disservice to our communities, Honorable Speaker. And so, I support the fact that we go by the motion moved by Senator Mwaruma that the ministry establishes teaching and referral hospitals in the other regions too, particularly at the coast, eastern, northeastern, Nyanza, and western regions. Honorable Speaker, I come from Nyanza, and most of our people have often been referred to the Moi Teaching Referral Hospital. A number of them even lose their lives on the way as they are being taken to Moi Referral Hospital. Because of the distance, a number of them are always transported there in ambulances while on oxygen and other medical related facilities. And Honorable Speaker, it is not a very, very comfortable situation for even the people that accompany the patients, the guardians that go with them. And so this motion is rightly here. It addresses the fact that it will improve on access in terms of distance and access in terms of services to our people, Honorable Speaker. It spells out even the issue of bed capacity, Honorable Speaker. You note that Kenyatta has only 1,800 bed capacity. Any of us who have gone to Kenyatta, either for treatment or to see a patient, often see the population that is in that hospital. And sometimes you even feel for the personnel that attend to this great number. And so, Honorable Speaker, if more of these hospitals were to be established, it would end up in alleviating the pressure that the current national referral hospitals have. It also speaks to the fact that it refers to the medical equipment and also even to the human capital that must be provided there. And so, Honorable Speaker, when you look at what the motion urges, the second component of what the motion urges is that the Ministry of Health should fully equip, and fully equip, Honorable Speaker, refers to the services and to the equipments that are needed in these hospitals that are going to be created. I was going to request, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Senator, when the House resumes, and this the motion resumes, Senator Ogola, you will have a remaining balance of 9 minutes to conclude seconding the motion. Honorable Senators, it is now 1 p.m., time to adjourn the Senate. The Senate therefore stands adjourned until later today, Wednesday, 12th November 2025 at 2:30 p.m.